Good morning, students. I am Dr. A.S. Manigandan, Associate Professor, Department of EEE. EE 8702, Power System Operation and Control is the subject I am going to teach you. So, first syllabus. So, Unit 1, Preliminaries on Power System Operation and Control. So, first power scenario in Indian grid. So, power scenario means the history of the power. That is, first demonstration of electric light in Calcutta was conducted on 24 July 1879. First hydroelectric installation in India at Chitrapur in 1897. First hydro power station in Jammu and Kashmir was established at Mohra in 1905. So the thermal power plant constitute 68% installed capacity. Hydro power plant 16%, rest being a combination of wind, biomass, nuclear, etc. So next, national and regional load dispatching center. So what in by load dispatch means the process of allocating generation level to the generating units so that system load is supplied entirely and most economically, minimize expenses. So national, what is the function of national load dispatching center means coordination for transnational exchange of power. Regional means state level. So again there is necessity of voltage and frequency regulation means regulating, keep the voltage and frequency as constant in power system. Again, real power versus frequency and reactive power versus voltage control loops, system load variation, load curve, basic concepts of load dispatching, load forecasting, basics of speed governing mechanism. Speed governing mechanism means the power system we have to keep the speed. In the power station we have to keep the speed as constant by controlling the frequency. So if the speed remains constant means frequency also remains constant. Second unit is the real power frequency control. So by controlling the frequency, we can control the real power. So the load frequency control. So what is load frequency control? Controlling the frequency. So there are single area system, two area system. So normally the power system is large. So the control of entire power system is difficult. So the power system is divided into small area, single area, two area. Okay. So what in by tie line means, that is tie line modeling. Tie line means the transmission line that connect an area to its neighboring area. If there is two area means the two area is connected by one transmission line. This transmission line is called as tie line. So third unit is the reactive power voltage control. So here by controlling the reactive power, we can control the voltage. So controlling the reactive power, we can control the voltage as constant in power system. So there is generation absorption of reactive power, basics of reactive power control, automatic voltage regulator AVR. So AVR means it is used to keep the voltages constant. Automatically it control the voltage. So stability compensation, voltage drop in transmission line, again methods of reactive power injection. So some tap changing transformer, SVC, static VAR compensator, again StateCom for voltage control. Fourth unit is the economic operation of power system. So the fourth unit deals with the economic dispatch and unit commitment. So first what in by economic dispatch means, the purpose of economic dispatch or optimal dispatch is to reduce the fuel cost by economic load scheduling. So unit commitment means it is used to reduce the loss or fuel cost by running most economical unit. So normally number of generators are connected in parallel to meet the load requirement. most economic units are committed. So last unit, computer control of power systems. So olden days, power system is monitored by manually and controlled and controlled. So nowadays there is one computer control device, SCADA, which automatically monitor and control the power system. So again, energy management system, EMS functions. So what do you mean by EMS means? It is the process of monitoring, controlling, coordinating the generation, transmission and distribution. Now let us consider the unit 1, preliminaries on power system operation and control. So first one is the system load variation. So normally in power system the load is not constant, it varies time to time. There is the load on power system varies from time to time due to uncertain demands of consumers and is known as variable load on the station. So in the power system the load is not constant because the loads are used by the consumers. Yeah, so it is not constant. By time to time it varies. So system load variation occurs due to weather conditions. It may be due to temperature, humidity, wind velocity, etc. So there are some types. First one is the residential load. It consists of domestic lights, fans, and other appliances such as heaters, refrigerators, TV, fridge, etc. So the in residential load, the high peak occur during the evening. So second one is the commercial load. It covers offices, hospitals, hotels, shopping complex, theaters, etc. So the commercial load has two peaks. One is in the morning and another one is the evening. Third one is the industrial load. So industrial load, it covers small and heavy factories. In factories, the workers are working in shift. So the load is constant throughout the day. They are working in the daytime one shift and in night time one shift. So the work load is constant throughout the day. Agricultural load. So normally the agriculture is done during the daytime only. So the agriculture load occurs during the daytime. Fifth one is the municipal load. So municipal, what are the municipal loads? Street light and supply, water supply. So it consists street lighting, water supply of and drainage. So street light load remains constant from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So fill up the tank during of peak hours. So what are the effect of this load variation? So due to the variation of load, there is some disadvantage also. So first one is need of additional equipment. If the power demand on the station increases, we should increase the generation by increasing the raw materials required. So additional equipments are needed to adjust the rates of supply of raw material with respect to power demand. Second one is the increase in production cost. Variable load on the power plant increases the production cost of electrical energy. If one alternator is used to meet out the load variation, it will have poor efficiency during light load period. So number of alternators of different capacities are installed so that most of the alternators can be operated at nearly full load capacity. So number of generators are used to meet out the load variation, increases the production cost. So next, load curve. So load on the power system is not constant, it varies time to time. So what in the load curve means? The curve is drawn between load and the time. The x-axis, the time is plotted, and the y-axis, the load in kilowatt. For example, there is 2 kilowatt, 4 kilowatt, 6 kilowatt, 8 kilowatt and 10 kilowatt. The time is from midnight to 12. So the graph is plotted between the load and the time. The graph which indicates the load curve. So a second one is the daily load curve. So daily curve means the curve showing the variation of load on the power system with respect to time for 24 hours, which is called as daily load curve. The curve showing the variation of load on a whole day, that is 24 hours with respect to time. So monthly load curve means for 1 month, the curve showing the variation of load of month with respect to time is known as monthly load curve. Yearly load curve means the curve is drawn for 1 year. The curve showing the variation of load of the year with respect to time is known as yearly load curve. So some of the informations from the load curve. The variation of load during different hours of the day. The area under the curve give the total number of units generated in a day. The peak of the curve represents the maximum demand on the station on the particular day. The area under the load curve represented is divided by the number of hours gives the average load on the power station. Load duration curve. So this is another type of curve which indicates the variation of load but with the loads arranged in descending order of magnitude. So the greatest load on the left and lesser loads towards right. From this load curve, the load factor of the station can be determined. So consider the curve. Here also the curve is drawn between load in kilowatt and duration in hours. So load 2000, 4000, 6000 and 8000. Again time it is 4, 8, 12, 16, 24 up to 24 for 1 day. So the highest load is drawn in the left side. Again going to the right side, the load start to decreases. So this type of curve is called as load duration curve. Next, some important terms. First one is the connected load. So what is connected load means? The sum of continuous rating of all the electrical equipment connected to the supply system is known as connected load. For example, in our house there are 3 fans with 2 watt, 2 light with 1 watt and 1 heater with 4 watt. So connected load is equal to 3 fans into 2 watt plus 2 into 1 plus 1 into 4 equal to 12 watt. This 12 watt is called as connected load. Second one is the maximum demand. The greatest of all short time interval averaged during a given period on the power station is called maximum demand. For example, the one power station, the load is 20 kilowatt, 40 kilowatt, 90 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt, 70 kilowatt. Here which one is the maximum? 90 is the maximum. So 90 kilowatt is called as maximum demand. So next, demand factor. So the ratio of actual maximum demand on the system to the total rated load connected to the system is called demand factor. So demand factor is equal to maximum demand divided by connected load. Average load. The average load or demand on the power station is the average of loads occurring at various events. So daily average load means kilowatt hour supplied in a day by 24. Monthly load curve means kilowatt hour supplied in a month divided by 24 into 30. Annual load curve is equal to kilowatt hour supplied in a year divided by 24 into 365. So fifth one is the average load factor or demand factor. So load factor is defined as the ratio of average load to the maximum demand during a certain period of time, such as a day or a year or a month is called load factor. So load factor is equal to average demand divided by maximum demand. If the plant is operated for 3 hours, average load into average demand into time divided by maximum demand into T. Otherwise, units generated in T hours by maximum demand into T. T is equal to 24 for daily load curve. T is equal to 24 into 7 for weekly load curve. T is equal to 24 into 365 for annual load curve. Diversity factor, the ratio of sum of individual maximum demand of all the consumers supplied by each to the maximum demand of the power station. So for example, what will be sum of individual maximum demand means the group A, group B. Here in the group A, you have to consider the maximum. Maximum is 70. Group B, the maximum demand is 80. So next, coincidence factor. The reciprocal of diversity factor is called coincidence factor, which is equal to maximum demand of power station divided by sum of individual maximum demand. Capacity factor or planned use factor. It is defined as the ratio of average load to the rated capacity of the power plant. Otherwise, units are kilowatt hour generated divided by planned capacity into number of hours. Ninth one is the utilization factor. It is the measure of utility of power plant capacity and is the ratio of maximum demand to the rated capacity of the power plant. Tenth one is the planned use factor. It is the ratio of actual energy generated during a given period to the product of capacity of plant and the number of hours the plant has been actually operated during the period. Reserve capacity means it is the difference between planned capacity and maximum demand. Reserve capacity equal to planned capacity minus maximum demand. So next problem. So here a generating station has a maximum demand of 400 megawatt. The annual load factor is 60%. Capacity factor is 50%. Find the reserve capacity of the plant. Given data, load factor 60% is equal to 0.6, capacity factor 0.5, maximum demand 400 megawatt. So here we have to calculate the reserve capacity, planned capacity minus maximum demand. So first calculate capacity factor, units generated per annum by planned capacity into hours in a year. Energy generated or units generated per annum equal to maximum demand into load factor into hours in a year. So planned capacity is equal to units generated per annum divided by capacity factor into hours in a year, which is equal to 480 megawatt. So planned capacity minus maximum demand. Maximum demand is given in the problem. So the answer is 80 megawatt. In this problem, a generating station has a maximum demand of 40 megawatt and a connected load is 75 megawatt. If the number of units generated in a year are 25 into 10 power 6, calculate load factor, demand factor. So here maximum demand given, connected load, units generated per annum given. So load, first calculate the load factor. Here annum, year given, problem. So you have to calculate the annual load factor, average load divided by maximum demand into 100. So first calculate average load, units generated per annum by hours in a year. So 28.54 megawatt. Annual load factor 71.35%. Demand factor is equal to maximum demand by connected load equal to 53.33%. So next problem. A diesel station supplies the following loads to various consumers. Industrial load 1000 kilowatt, commercial load 750 kilowatt, domestic load 500 kilowatt, domestic light 500 kilowatt. If the maximum demand on the station is 2500 kilowatt, the number of kilowatt hour generated per year is 45 into 10 power 5. Determine the diversity factor and annual load factor. So first you have to calculate the diversity factor, sum of all individual maximum demand by maximum demand on power station, which is equal to 1.1. So next we have to calculate the annual load factor. First annual load factor is equal to average load by maximum demand. So average load equal to kilowatt hour generated per annum by hours in a year. So average load equal to 513.699 kilowatt. Load factor is equal to 20.548%.